Hello there. Welcome to another video where we chat, or where I chat to myself, and hopefully whoever needs to see it sees it. I'm filming inside today, which is a bit unusual for me because normally I like to be outside in nature while I chat, but I can't right now because there's an extreme thunderstorm going on with massive hailstones that have been impaling people's cars, etc. So I thought it would be best to film inside today. But on the topic of thunderstorms, that gives me a segue to what I wanted to talk about, which is the thunderstorms of life. I've had a few people who have watched some of my videos and told me that it seems like I've got it all together. It seems like, I'm always happy and always on it, which is obviously not true because I am a human and I'm also going through the peaks and troughs of life just like everyone else. And yeah, the last few weeks have been hard for me, especially the last few days. And it's not for any particular reason. It's just sometimes we can feel low for what may seem like no reason at all. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about how it's okay to feel like that sometimes. Not every day is a sunny day. Sometimes it needs to thunderstorm to water the plants so that the plants can grow. And that's the same as in life. Sometimes we need to be in the shadows and we need to be in the darkness in order to grow. Because for me personally, when I'm in that dark space, I feel like that's an opportunity for all of the things that I need to release to come up. And the thing that I want to do is just to numb it, right, straight away, by scrolling, by drinking or smoking or any of those numbing effects. And I have done that in the past. And I guess this is why this time is different, because I'm not doing that. I'm not going back to my vices. You can hear the rain. Instead, I'm trying to sit with myself in the uncomfortableness of tough emotions and tough feelings. Because sometimes it's not even about thoughts or negative people or energy. It's just a feeling of sadness or a feeling of low energy, but a feeling of not being completely okay. And my intuition is telling me that that's completely okay. It's okay to feel like that sometimes. It's okay to not be 100%. It's okay to be sad. You don't have to numb it or try and be happy and push the sadness away. No, feel the sadness because it's all part of it, right? And whilst in the sadness, be nice to yourself. Maybe have a little sweet treat or something, or relax a little bit. Don't rush into doing some work. Sit with yourself. Sit with the negative or sad feeling. Journal. I know that sounds so cliche to journal, but I've been journaling a lot recently and I've really found it helpful as a tool to talk to those sad parts of myself that I don't I don't normally get to talk to. For whatever reason, because I'd be numbing or because I'm pushing that part of myself away, but it's still a part that exists. That sadness is there for some reason. Something inside me is sad. And those opportunities where the sadness comes up is a great time to meet that sad version of self. And journaling helps me give love to that sad version of self, give some hope, and ask her what is wrong. And really look at that instead of just numbing it. And I feel like when we go to numb by, going to a vice, a distraction, or whatever, it's pushing that down. And whether we deal with that now or later, it needs to be dealt with in some way. Otherwise it comes out unhealthily. It comes out in a trauma response or negatively to another person. And then the cycle begins of just numbing and not dealing with the pain until it becomes its own separate pain body. And then we're hurting other people, But I think that's a cycle a lot of us are breaking out of right now, of dealing with our own shit so that we don't have to hurt anyone else and we don't have to hurt ourselves. Like in the moment, numbing can feel like the best thing to do, the easiest thing to do. It can feel like nice to just numb it. It feels like by dealing with whatever pain or sadness or, any negative feeling that we have, dealing with it is like a chore. It's going to be hard, it's going to be difficult. And it's like our brain is automatically like, nah, don't deal with this. Let's go find a coping mechanism to deal with this instead. But that's where our brain is wrong. And that's where we should listen to that tiny intuition voice, that voice of God, the voice of spirit that tells us, you need to sit with this. You need to be by yourself, breathe, and sit with the pain, sit with the sadness. And this is where our breath becomes so important. Because I feel like by just taking a deep, expansive belly breath, it's like it creates room to deal with these feelings. So we can do that together if you like. Gently close your eyes for a second. And just concentrate on expanding your stomach. And then while your stomach expands, breathe into the space you created. And feel that rich breath just expand your whole body and your chest. Take a few breaths like this. And while you're breathing like this, put your focus on slowing down the breath, steadying the breath, and deepening that breath into the body. And see how slowly you can inflate your stomach. And then how slowly you can let that breath just trickle out of you. Notice any tension in the body, and you can put the focus of your breath to that tension and just feel it melt away. Let's do one last breath together. So make this breath deep and expansive, creating the space in the stomach before taking that initial inhale. And at the top of the inhale, I want you to just hold that breath for a few seconds. And then with control, just empty the stomach, the lungs, the chest, the throat of that breath. Gently open your eyes again. Did you feel a difference? The breath creates space to deal with the hardships that we face. Because let's face it, this life is equally about the joyous, positive, happy moments as it is about the sad, painful, depressive moments. But we can choose how we decide to feel that sadness and that low energy. We can choose to do it in a healthy, loving, compassionate way. We can choose to breathe that life into our bodies and souls to make it easier. I remember when I was younger and I was really not good at dealing with the hard times of life. Anytime I would find myself in this low place, it would be completely destroying of all the work that I put into myself when I was in a good place. But looking back, I can see now that I just didn't have the right tools to deal with that high emotional state, the vulnerable state that I would get into sometimes. I didn't know how to deal it. I was never taught to. And that's no negativity to my parents or to anyone who helped raise me, because if you don't know, then how can you teach, right? But as I've gotten older and sat with myself more, I've realized that there is an easier way to deal with this sadness and negativity, and that's just to be completely there with myself. Because we're the only one that's going to be here with ourselves for our whole lives. People come and go. No one is going to be as loving and supportive towards you as you can be towards yourself. And when we realize that, it bridges this connection between our this plain self and our higher self. There's less of a distance, there's less of a disconnect. And I could never say this in those teenage years or even in my early 20s, but now I can wholeheartedly say that I love myself and I'm always here for myself. And that makes me feel so good inside and so looked after. And I know that no matter what happens, I have got my own back. The God inside me has got my own back. And how refreshing and fulfilling is that? How comforting to know that you can always be there for yourself. Always. So yeah, when it thunderstorms, maybe it's a time to sit inside. Thank you guys for listening, and if you're going through anything like this or anything that's hard, I just want you to know that I love you and I care, and I hope that you love yourself and you can find that love for yourself. And yeah, have an amazing, blessed day, and I'll see you around.